Oh, Snow White first reactions are here, and they are, of course, they're positive. Their shills are out in force, ladies and gentlemen. The shills are out in force. So funny. So bloody funny. All of this is going to be raging cope. Disney categorically hired influencers to come along to the premiere, talk to Rachel Premiere. It wasn't even a premiere. Come on. Talk to Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. And now they're part of giving the first reactions. And it's all just cope. All of this is cope. Alright? All of this is cope. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. We're going to look at the first reactions in a minute. They're obviously just nonsense and gushing. And effectively, you can basically smell Bob Iger's dog shit from the noses of these influencers because they had their nose so far up his backside. Anyway, it is also important to note that the Hollywood Reporter did speak to one of the cast members of this movie, who coincidentally is actually a dwarf, who plays a dwarf, but isn't a dwarf in the movie physically, but he's doing the voice of a dwarf. Work that one out. But anyway, whatever. The whole thing's a joke. But he basically admitted, yeah, no, Disney is afraid of the blowback. So mark my words, all of this is cope. All of this is cope. All right. Anyway, hit subscribe if you are new here. Definitely turn those bell notifications on, guys. If you like what I do, support me further via my Patreon. It's down below in the description box. As little as $2 a month, you can support the channel further. Anyway, like I said, all this is cope. All right. So funny. All of this is hilarious. I can't get over it. Let me just resize this. So we've got, just important, the Hollywood Reporter spoke to Martin Kleber, who does the voice of Grumpy. Right, Martin Kleber is, you know, he's quote unquote a little person. And he does the voice of Grumpy in this. Let me just resize. And basically he said, again, can you imagine that being a dwarf? Being hired to do the voice of a dwarf in the movie that's fully CGI, but not being hired to actually be a dwarf in the movie, even though you're a dwarf, because another dwarf actor saw fit to piss on everyone's parade. What an absolute joke. Goodness me. Anyway, he says it really isn't going to be a red carpet. It's going to be at the El Capitan Theatre, which is cool, but it's basically going to be a pre-party, watch the movie, and that's it. There's not going to be this whole hoopla of Disney's first effing movie they ever made because of all this controversy. They're afraid of the blowback from different people in society. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you hire a douche canoe. Anyway, thought that was funny. But here's the first reactions. Here's the first reactions. Rachel Zegler's a shining supernova in Snow White, beautifully embodying the graceful, gentle nature of the OG Disney princess. It's a visual feast with show-stopping new musical numbers and, of course, dozens of enchanting animated animals. How's it a live-action movie if it's all animation? No one's worked that out yet. Oh, there's a little bit more here. The screenplay wisely gives its heroine newfound depth through her fervent desire to become the leader her father believed she could be, and a love story that's sweet as apple pie. This is cope. Oh, there's going to be more here. Rachel Zegler stuns in Snow White with a vocal range crafted by the gods. She shines magic, charm, and beauty into this spinful reimagining of Disney's 1937 classic, with Gal Gadot serving in cartoonishly fun and whimsical portrayal of the evil queen. Jesus, honestly, there's more. Mark Webb delivers a visual treat accompanied by Erin Cressida Wilson's strong written and writing, and Benj Pasek and Justin Paul's dazzling and shoe-tapping original songs that speak to the world and the journey of the characters within it. All of that, plus adorable dwarfs. Have you seen the dwarfs? They are nightmare fuel. They are everything but adorable. Especially White's relationship with Dopey, an exploration of one's own heroism through a pure heart and a swift runtime shape Snow White into one of Disney's strongest retellings yet, and a bona fide family crowd pleaser. Mate, you didn't even. How do you not know how to spell crowd? What? Family crude pleaser. What is that? Jesus. Disney's not bringing their best with these shills, are they? Despite the Bob being all over the place, Snow White is quite charming. The message lands well, the critters are adorable, and Rachel Zegler and her enchanting voice are stunning. It almost got a full tear out of me. I've never cried in my entire life. Despite becoming an internet punching bag, Disney's remake of Snow White is actually mostly successful. Rachel Zegler is an absolute star. Most of the new songs are catchy and beautifully performed, and the visual palette is sumptuous and vibrant. Mate, it's not in any of the trailers, though. What are you talking about? Gal Gadot had beautiful gowns. That's a weird thing to tack on, isn't it? Gal Gadot had beautiful gowns. What? Anyway. Listen, I was worried, but let me tell you, Snow White is pure Disney magic. This will end up being a lot of people's favourite live-action remake. Won't know, will it? A joyous premiere for a delightful film. I can't wait for the world to see this special movie. Also, as a musical, it's perfect. We get an opening number, an I Want song, a villain song, a love song, an 11 o'clock number, reprises, and a finale, among others. Let's have a look at this. See with the other people. I mean, this is just full shills. Let's have a look. Let's see. I may regret saying this, but Snow White is solid. I really enjoyed the musical numbers, particularly the opening one, and the Queen's Evil Bop. What? Zegler was great in the lead role, and Gadot was fun. It's really the CGI dwarves that let the film down. The choice is baffling. Why, you can thank Peter Dinklage for that, mate. Hilarious. The biggest surprise of 2025 is that the most controversial and most hated film of the year is actually a decent live-action remake. Snow White is not only one of the best live-action remakes in years. It's not even live-action. Shut up. It's filmed entirely on a soundstage. It's also a film that recaptures the magic of the 1937 movie. Does it, though? Rachel Zegler is Snow White. Is she? And she delivers such a magical performance. The musical numbers are unforgettable. The visuals, not the uncanny dwarfs. That's how you know the person that said that they were cute is just lying. Are enchanting, and Erin Cressida Wilson's screenplay provides depth to this world that I didn't know was needed. This is absolutely just totally retarded, but never mind. Kind of insane that this movie was the internet's punching bag for like 2 years, yet most people who've seen it say it's one of the best remakes. Yeah, whatever. Listen, I was worried, but let me tell you, blah, blah, blah. God, there's a lot of people sucking down on Rachel Zegler now, aren't they? It sounds terrible. It's so funny. All these reviews, super positive. Despite usual performance of online outrage surrounding it, social media embargo has been lifted for Snow White, and reactions so far seem overwhelmingly positive, with lots of praise to the remake starring Rachel Zegler. Yeah, well, funny that mainstream media was not actually invited to it. Luis Fernando. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably dog shit, but, you know, whatever. So grateful to be invited to see Snow White, a stunning magical movie deeply infused with hope, and Rachel Zegler's outstanding performance elevating it to the very top of the Disney live-action tree. I mean, no, mate, no. This is just absolute cope. And I know people will be looking at me going, well, no, that's cope. You're just coping for it. No, I'm really not. No, I'm really not. The thing about this movie is, and the thing about most Disney live-action movies, they have an overwhelming history of hiring people to shill for them. So, no, we can categorically say that this is probably poo, but whatever. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.